had spoken once before. I had been asked by Ann Wexler to give a speech. Then I got a call from Vernon Jordan saying in his very deep voice, "I need to see you." So I went to his office in New York, and he locked the door and said, "I want you to be the next president of Economic Club of Washington, and I'm not going to unlock the door until you agree to do it." We try to get speakers from all walks of life, but people who particularly have something to say about public policy or economic policy or the economy or something related to that. I found the technique that worked better was to do interviews. I think that gives a better sense of their personality.
What would you like to see as your ultimate legacy? I'm not saying you're not going to have many more years as prime minister. You may or may not. But if you had a chance to write your own legacy now and say this is what you accomplished with your life, what would you want people to say about what you've done?
Defender of Israel, liberator of its economy.
You would never consider running for office, would you?
I would love to be president of the United States of America, okay? And until Donald Trump got to where he was, I used to say you'll never have a rich businessman who's never been in politics be president. And so I clearly was wrong about that.
And so I actually have the opportunity to really look at the entire ecosystem of the financial industry, and we kind of do sit in the center of it. So I have the most interesting job, I think, in the world, because I get to really understand the intersection of all of the different components of the financial markets.
So back to your current job, what is the greatest pleasure of being Speaker of the House? Can you think of one? Can you think of one?
How much time do I have?
Right.
No.
Suppose I had a child who got into both Harvard and Stanford. Where should that child go?
Ohio State.
Ohio State. Okay. Great. All right.
That's a very good answer. Good answer.
You have a fair amount of money. You got a sports team. You got a successful business. You got a great family. So, is there anything you're lacking that you want?
I give it all away for my oldest son to be healthy, right? All of it. So.
Right.
Yeah. That's.
4 years ago, I was leading in the polls. I was beating everybody in the polls. And what happened is I just really was loving what I do. I love what I do. I would rather do what I'm doing than run for president. But I also love the country more. And I just think that unless I see somebody that's outstanding, I would very much be inclined to do it.
I mean, it really comes down to having the privilege of leading a national asset and a company that's doing some of the most important and interesting work in the world.
I won't go so far as saying we shouldn't have a debt limit, but I do believe that when money is authorized to be spent, there should be some mechanism that the debt limit is also raised to pay for it.
Actual $450 million goes out of our company every day. To the retail client, and so you start to think about it. You need all things, and you need all things to branch to critically important. But on the other hand, you had to disrupt yourself at the same time.
Well, I got some of it right here. I got some of the cash right here. To put out today.
Right now, you're going to do the Oprah Winfrey. Everybody's going to get $100.
So, maybe. So explain to people, how big a chip is in a phone. In a cell phone, how big is the chip? If you were to open the phone, would you find the chip, and how big is it?
You would find it. It'll be rectangular. It's about the size of a dime. In our case, you might see several Qualcomm chips. They, if you look at our latest chip, it probably has 5 billion transistors. If you were to compare that kind of on the scale of human achievement, it's probably some of the most complicated things, if not the most complicated single structure that we've created.
So who designs these?
In high tech, and I would say pretty much in all business, no competition, no customer respects your org chart, right? I mean, nobody cares. What they care about is, are you serving them well?